All right, y'all, let's get to some meal prep. So, I got my chicken. Okay, gonna get my hands washed. All right, so obviously I'm gonna do a lot more chicken than this, but this is just to get us started. I'm gonna go ahead and just to make it easier for later, I'm gonna cut it while it's raw, and then we'll go ahead and we'll cook it up. Season it and cook it up. I'm going to start with this one, just doing an orange chicken. I have two ways of doing this. One of them we usually do as a dinner, and I actually fry up the chicken slightly, make it crispy in olive oil. Just a couple tablespoons of olive oil and some cornstarch makes it nice and crispy. Fairly healthy still, but for lunches, we just do the chicken sauteed in a pan. Usually do some soy sauce, some sesame seed oil, some orange marmalade. You can also just use orange juice. I do that sometimes, but I was at the store the other day and I picked up some orange marmalade, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that because it just gives it such a much sweeter flavor. I love it. Alright, so I've gotten the chicken all cut up and I have gotten my hands re-washed. I'm gonna go grab a bowl and we're gonna start seasoning. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get our chicken in this bowl, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get all my sauce put together. I like to season my chicken and then also get some sauces together. I kind of just wing it, so it kind of turns out a little bit different every time, but the flavor's pretty consistent. It's just the whole process of how I get there changes. So we're gonna go do a little go ahead and do a little bit of lemon, pepper, sea salt, and garlic. I'm gonna get this chicken seasoned with all of this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and in a pan, I'm gonna add in some honey, some sesame oil, and some orange marmalade, and I have some clementine, so I'm gonna go ahead and also put a little bit of clementine juice in there. Orange juice is easier to do because obviously the oranges are bigger than clementines, but we don't eat excuse me, I'm inhaling seasoning right now. We don't eat too many oranges around this household. I don't know why. I love clementines. I'm not huge on oranges. I think just because clementines are easier to peel than oranges. And I know I mentioned it in other videos of mine, but if you don't know, I'm a nanny of twin 3.5-year-olds. So, you know, pretty busy during the day, and then I am exhausted by the time the evening comes, so I just, and during the day, meals are like quick and easy, whatever I can get, and clementines just seem to be a lot easier to peel than oranges. So, alright, so we've got our chicken all seasoned. It's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a pan and get some seasoning started. Alrighty, so I've got my toasted sesame oil, orange marmalade, and my soy sauce. I'm gonna go ahead, grab my pan. I like to use black cast. It's just my preferred to cook in. I'm gonna go ahead and get this heated. I'm gonna add all of my seasonings in, and then we're gonna get the chicken added. I really just kind of eyeball everything. Probably a couple tablespoons of sesame oil, maybe a half a tablespoon of toasted sesame oil, a couple tablespoons of soy sauce, and then about a spoonful or so of the orange marmalade. It also depends on how much you're doing. I did about 8 chicken thighs, boneless, skinless here, that I have cut up. If I do more, obviously I use more. Also, I usually make a sauce up at the end as well, and I drizzle it on top just for extra flavor. Oh my gosh, if you could just like smell my kitchen right now. It smells amazing. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take you over here and we are gonna get started. So I've got my heat on like a medium high right now, and I'm just letting this all kind of get mixed together, and then I'll let it sit and just cook fully. It'll probably take about 10 minutes or so for this chicken to cook fully through. It might take a little bit longer because it is a pretty big batch. And then once the chicken is fully cooked through, then I'll go ahead and I will just start to let it cool, if it needs any more seasoning, any more sauce, and then I will pair this with a rice, which you'll see here shortly. And we love garlic here in our house, so we're gonna go ahead and plop that guy in there as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get a timer set for 10 minutes. Oh gosh, I forgot I had the microwave open. Don't ask me why. I am crazy. These are 2 of my favorite types of rice. It really just kind of depends on where I go as to which I get. And I always cook our rice in my Instapot. My counters are a complete mess right now, so bear with me while we get this guy started and get it set up for rice. What's funny is that I totally told myself that I was only going to start meal prep tonight because it's Friday Eve and it has been a long 10-hour work day, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like get the chicken that I have in the fridge and get it cooked up and I'm not gonna finish. But then like here I am, kitchen's a mess, and I'm like going full force meal prepping. You know, it's like 7:30 at night. I haven't even made dinner yet, but let's meal prep. Ignore the fact that I just made a mess. Chicken is coming along here. It's looking good. It looks like it's about halfway done, so we'll let it keep going. I just pretty much let it sit and stir it occasionally. You want it to look like it's got pretty good juices in there. If it doesn't, go ahead and just add a little bit more of all your liquids. And obviously, like if you like more spice, add a little bit more pepper. I am gonna go ahead and add a little bit of Red's hot sauce in here just because we like that for some spice. You can also add red pepper or sriracha. We just aren't really big fans of sriracha, so we prefer the hot sauce. Basically just eyeball it, add more spice, add less spice. Because of all the sweetness we have in there from the orange marmalade, we add a good amount of hot sauce. Ask my spouse and he'll tell you that I literally do not cook a meal and not add honey to it. I'm obsessed with honey. It's an addiction, and it's one that I love having. So personally, I like to put honey in there. Also, again, I always end up adding more hot sauce because I make it too sweet. But it's orange chicken, so we want a little bit of sweet and a little bit of spicy. Oh my gosh, look how good that looks, guys. Alright, y'all. This is looking really good. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna turn my heat off, and I am just gonna let this cool for a little bit. Okay, so I totally read something somewhere that if you wrap your like broccoli, asparagus, celery, and like those types in foil, that it lasts longer. So I had this, foil broccoli in my fridge forever. Like at least 2 weeks, if not longer. Look how good that looks. Like usually, at least from my experience, the tops will be starting to look kind of like yellowish brown, and it feels so crisp. Like it's perfect. Like watch. Ooh, I have a metal pan under this, and it just sounded horrible. Okay, ignore me. Do you hear that? Literally so crisp, like blowing my mind. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, steam some broccoli, put that with my meal prep. By the way, usually don't have this much energy at like 7 o'clock at night. For some reason I do tonight, so that's why we're meal prepping. Yes, this is awesome. Look at that, Ray. Literally just my luck. In the middle of trying to make this video, my storage is full. So my broccoli is nice and cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the containers as well. Let's see if I have any carrots. Aha! So that's a wrap on tonight's meal prep. If you're interested in more meal prep videos, comment below. I'm also going to start posting on like some 15-minute dinners. So let me know what sounds good to you. And oh my gosh,